An elderly couple decided many years ago to flee the city's turmoil and settle in the peaceful mountains, far away from any other civilization. But their peace was upset by the constant vandalism of a mischievous badger. Every night, it invaded the couple's field, thoroughly destroying the rice and vegetable crops. The badger's damage grew more and more evident, with visible marks all over the farm. The loving couple, intent on putting an end to the mischief, bravely armed themselves with determination. Day and night, the old couple waited patiently, with traps ready and a steadfast purpose in mind, to capture the badger and bring peace back to their beloved farm. The farmer's difficulties finally came to a successful end. One day, during his inspections on the farm, he found the badger trapped in a ditch he had dug. Satisfied and determined, the farmer had managed to catch his opponent. Binding it tightly, he took it back home, bent on putting an end to its mischief once and for all. Shortly afterwards, the farmer strapped the badger to the farmhouse rafters and set off on his field chores. The badger found itself in a difficult situation, since the sight of becoming the farmer's dinner that night was far from enticing. In desperation, it pondered for a long time, trying to devise a plan for its escape. Waiting outside the warehouse, the farmer's wife was busy preparing mochi, a kind of dough made from glutinous rice and used for dumplings. She was showing signs of tiredness and aging. Gifted with a sweet and naive nature, the kind lady was incapable of detecting evil intentions, let alone believing that the badger was trying to trick her into escaping. The badger promised the kind lady, if she freed it, it would help her with her daily chores, relieving her of the hard work. With her kindness and faith in the badger's promise, the woman freed it and untied its chains. Then, giving it the wooden pestle, she invited it to start working while she rested for a while. The badger accepted the pestle, but instead of sticking to its word, it charged at the old woman, striking her with the heavy wooden object and claiming her life. With his shape-shifting skills, the evil badger transformed itself into the figure of the old lady and made soup for the farmer. Upon returning, exhausted and sleepy, the man overlooked the change in his wife and wolfed down the soup without suspecting anything. The badger suddenly revealed his true form and began to laugh and mock at the farmer. Between bursts of laughter, the badger escaped through the house and ran back to its lair in the hills. The old farmer lagged behind, perplexed by the scene he had just witnessed. When, at last, he understood the whole truth and what the badger had done to his wife, he was overwhelmed with horror and fainted with terror. A kind and brave rabbit lived not far away. On hearing the old farmer's lamentations, it decided to inquire what had happened and offered its help to its distressed neighbor. When the farmer told it all about the tragedy that had befallen his house, the rabbit was enraged by the vile and treacherous badger. With determination, it told the man to leave everything to him, promising that it would avenge his wife's death. Hiding its true intentions under a veneer of friendship, the rabbit fooled the badger in several ways. It triggered adverse situations, such as dropping a bee's nest on the badger, and treated the stings with a burning ointment that caused intense pain when it touched the wound. The rabbit always showed a feigned expression of surprise, as if all these events were coincidental. The rabbit and the badger went out to gather sticks to light a fire and keep warm during the night. When the badger was lugging a heavy load of sticks on its back, it was so taken with the weight that it failed to notice immediately when the rabbit set fire to the sticks. The sound of the burning sticks soon entered the badger's ear, and it asked the rabbit what it was. "It's Kachi-kachi. We are near the roaring mountain," replied the rabbit. Knowing the legend of the mountain that was always shaking and spewing out smoke and fire, the badger decided to ignore the flaming sound on its back. The fire eventually spread and reached the badger's back, severely burning it, but not killing it. Yet again, the rabbit made it look like an accident, but the badger understood that something was wrong with their friendship. Driven to seek revenge for the burns it had sustained, the badger challenged the rabbit to a life-or-death contest, in which they had to prove who was the superior creature. Crafty and resourceful, the rabbit sculpted two boats, one made from the trunk of a fallen tree for itself, and the other from clay for the badger. The two competitors seemed to be on equal footing at first, but soon the badger's clay boat started to fall apart in the middle of the lake. The badger quickly found itself fighting for its life in the water, while the rabbit revealed its alliance with the human couple and explained that this was the due punishment for the badger's appalling behavior. The badger eventually drowned in the lake, and the rabbit went back to the old man's cottage to tell him about its revenge, bringing great relief to the farmer. Deeply grateful and with tearful eyes, the farmer pleaded with the rabbit to stay with him and share his home. From that day on, the rabbit became the old farmer's regular companion. United by a strong friendship bond, they shared their lives, tackling the challenges together and celebrating the joys until the end of their days.